Despite China's dramatic surge in influence over the past 35 years, the country still lags well behind in terms of soft power, with countries such as the US, as well as neighbors South Korea and Japan, seen as greater success stories. China has made the promotion of its soft power assets a priority in recent years, yet the campaigns have yielded mostly unsatisfactory results to date. Today, I am joined by Liu Xiang, a researcher at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, as we discuss the state of Chinese soft power and its future. On July 14th this year, Portland Communications released its Soft Power 30, an index detailing how successful certain countries' soft power initiatives have been. I understand you have a copy of the report. Could you perhaps hold it up
here
for
it
us?
is. I read it.
All right. In the report, the U.S. ranked third behind Britain and Germany, while China ranked last out of all the ranked countries. And the report detailed that while China does have a wealth of soft power assets available to it, it is perhaps struggling to capitalize on those assets due to certain government restrictions. What are your thoughts on the ranking?
In my mind, soft power is part of the national power of a country. Soft power is power only because it is based on a country's hard power, which is composed of its economic and military capabilities. So this is to say soft power can never be an independent power that you could wield in the world. Being perceived nicely doesn't necessarily mean being powerful.
So a big part of China's soft power push in recent years has been the formation and promotion of Confucius Institutes abroad, run by the Hanban, also known as the National Office for Teaching of Chinese as a Foreign Language. However, the institutes have come under fire in certain countries, or at least in certain institutions, in recent times for criticism of suppressing academic freedom and promoting certain Chinese government positions. And as a result, have been closed down or asked to close down or contracts finished. How will these closures affect the Confucius Institute initiative, and what do you see for the future?
So, to the best of my understanding, the Confucius Institutes are aiming at providing some very preliminary, non-formal curriculums for those foreigners who have had initial interest in Chinese language. So the Confucius Institutes are not aiming at strengthening China's power over any country. It's just for giving people an opportunities to contact China. Now there are over 100 Confucius Institutes in the United States, and all of them are run in collaborations with the U.S. hosts. As I see, generally they are run quite well. Among the 100 plus Confucius Institutes in the U.S., only 2 or 3 got troubled.
Right.
So it's a very small part.
Sure.
So based on my understanding of the American society, it's not strange at all. You know, the U.S. is basically an open society, but that doesn't mean everybody there is open-minded. Actually, as I see, some people are even insensibly paranoid. So I believe the troubles for Confucius institutes in the U.S. is not a big issue. And I believe the Confucius Institutes could still contribute quite a lot to the mutual understandings between Chinese and American people.
So, looking east now to your smaller neighbor, South Korea, and there in recent years the Hallyu, the Korean wave of Korean culture, everything from K-pop to Korean dramas has spread quite impressively throughout the world. Why is it that the South Korean cultural wave has done so well, yet China, which would seem to have greater cultural assets, or at least a more diverse range of cultural assets, has not done so well?
Okay. The Hallyu, or the Korean wave, actually started with China. beyond China, I don't see that.
Started with China? How
yeah,
so?
I mean the way started with China means.
Oh, you mean it came here first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there is a reason behind it, which is as follows. First of all, we need to see that the economy of the Republic of Korea took off much earlier than China did. And now, even China's economy is much larger than Korea in terms of total volume. But Korea is much richer than China in terms of per capita income.
Sure.
So on the other side, Korean people are still closely affiliated to the traditional ethical values. And these values are very well embodied in their pop culture, like TV dramas. So what the Chinese audience see in this Korean TV dramas, I think the Chinese audience see in them how the traditional values are sustained in a developed society. It's the next step for China. So I could see the Hanliu is somehow a mirror for Chinese people to see our own future.
Following on from my last question, what future do you see for Chinese soft power? And what role do you think the government should play in terms of intervention or influence?
I think the soft power thing is important, but in my hope is that it's better to be a natural cause. The government shouldn't do too much on it. The hard reality for China is that we are still developing countries, and the top priority for our government is to further develop our economy and to solve the problems which are emerging in the course. In the course now, you see we have so many problems: the air, the water, social disparity, all these kind of things. So if we succeed in solving all these kind of problems, our image will be better. So internationally, China's objective, as I think, is not to pursue more power over other countries, but to create a more amiable external environment for us to develop our economy. And for attaining this objective, we need to do more in exchange of ideas and values with other peoples. But in my mind, power is an over-consumed concept, and it's better for us to keep a distance from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Kung Fu.
I think probably the Chinese New Year.
秦腔，吃的，
我觉得中国武术。
说不定还是孔子这种，因为现在国外不是到处都是孔子学院嘛，
Everything's different.
不是太了解。
这些人素质特别高了。
自由开放，然后比较随意吧。